Okay.
Yeah, I think we're
Nice.
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So good to see you again, Mary. We continue with this journey, interesting journey. We are writing this book, The Power of a Name, your book, and we have started. We started this couple of days ago, and we have covered the importance of a name, advantages of a name, rating a name. Well, we can always qualify with the adjective powerful. The importance of a powerful name, advantages of a powerful name, creating a powerful name, using a powerful name, increasing a powerful name, collaborating with a powerful name. And today we are doing dominating with a powerful name. How to
Yeah.
dominate. Let's start by saying that the word dominate, especially as used in this context, is not negative. So it's not like, because you can use the word dominate either in a positive or negative sense. Usually, when you say dominate, people think of things that are negative, but that's not how we are using it here. Just a disclaimer there that I think is necessary. So when we talk about dominating, we are not talking about, like subjugating or suppressing other people. We are talking about making your name like Facebook dominates, Amazon dominates, Google dominates, and all these, some of these, Fortune 500 companies, they dominate. So that is the sense we are using the word here, not necessarily to put other people under your armpit, as they say in Nigeria.
That is not dominating. That is oppression.
That is oppression. So that clarification needs to be made.
This is not
Yeah,
oppression. It's dominate.
yeah. Take it away, Enion. Great.
Okay. So I would if my screen goes off a little bit, it's just because I was at something. But I'm still
I
here.
don't know, for some reasons when we are chatting behind the scene, um, here we are. But now there is some kind of noise all of a sudden.
There's some kind of echo and all that.
There is some kind of noise in the background. It's like something is scratching. I don't know.
No, it's the crackling. The sound a bit. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Let me check. Let me check the internet.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Did you change your internet? Did you switch the internet?
Okay. And I just kind of okay.
I think the first one is better than this one. This one is just like frozen. Maybe let's try to go to the first internet. This one is like worse.
Hello.
Yeah, is this the first connection?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're frozen.
Huh?
The first internet connection, if you can hear me, the first internet connection was better than this one.
No, it's the same one. I just kind of okay. I've kind of moved where I was.
I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me better now? You can't hear me at all?
I can hear you now, but you're frozen.
Okay.
Your face is not moving. Yeah, this
Hello.
looks like it's better now.
Okay. Okay. Another internet hijacked the first one. My Wi-Fi hijacked the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. So with dominating, not oppressing, just like you said, Facebook is dominating, Amazon is dominating, Google is dominating, Apple is dominating. So that's the kind of dominance that we're talking about, which we believe that a powerful name, those are the benefits of having a powerful name. And and uh, and when you get to the point of um, so let me just I just want to read out something. One second. So Genesis. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Just 1 second. I'm gonna pull up. It's because I'm using the same phone I'm using. Man. Okay. So I went.
Hi, Mary, are you there?
All right. So I don't know if you heard me the time when I was just trying to call up the pictures. So basically,
You have to start from the
this is
beginning
it.
because I didn't hear you.
You hear me? Oh, are you serious?
You were like off completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
if
hear you for a couple of minutes. You weren't talking.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So I was just pulling out from Genesis 1:28 that basically talks about asking us to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish the earth, to subdue it, and to dominate. All right. So the first thing first we must understand is that it's a command. It's what we are built for. We are built for dominance. So it's innate. So it's not something that some other people should do and other people shouldn't do, or some other people. We are. This is what we are built for. We're built for dominance. All right. And I sometimes ask the question, and I'm like, okay, so if we're built for dominance, everybody in this world was supposed to be dominating, where is the space? You see what I'm saying? But that's where oppression comes in, because when you're not in your place of dominance, you get oppressed, right? You get
Mhm.
oppressed. There was no place in the Bible where God said that we should dominate man. It says we should dominate the fish, we should dominate the earth. So every other thing is there for us to dominate, except human beings. We're not supposed to dominate each other. We're supposed to dominate every other thing. All right. So the first place that we, so that means that every human being has the capacity to dominate, because you get what I'm saying. Every human has the capacity to dominate, and it is a command. And I like to look at that command from where it started from. It says, "Be fruitful, be fruitful, then multiply, then replenish, then subdue, then dominate." I, for one, think that these are steps to dominance. Okay, these are the steps to dominance. First, you have to have something that you can recreate. You have to be fruitful, which means that re- when you plant, when you sow a seed, and it gets fruit, right? Which means it creates something. It creates of its own, of its kind. All right. So you have a talent, you have a gift that you can recreate, or you know uh, 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 or bring out. All right. So first, you have to you have to have something that you're doing that you can that has results. So fruitfulness is the result of something, all right, that has results. And then you multiply that result. So something that has gone right, all right, you then multiply. So if you have and I'm just going to use agriculture here. So if an orange, if you planted one orange and it bore fruits, in those fruits are more seeds, and then you want to multiply the oranges or the plants that you have, right? Then you multiply, all right, and then after which you multiply, there is a very, very important part, is replenish. Okay, there's a very important part. So at the point where you multiply, you then need to replenish. All right, that is where sustainability and sustainability really comes on. All right, if you know about sustainability, um, we need to replenish the earth. We need to give back to our community. We need to give back to where it is that we are reaping from. All right, we need to replenish. Um, we need to cater to where it is that we are getting the results that we're getting. All right, even though I'm using this in the context of agriculture, but I'm also trying to make it applicable to business and to person. All right, you need to replenish wherever it is that you're reaping from. You need to give back, replenish in that place, and then you go to subdue. Now, when you replenish, when you become someone that um, 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 gives back to your community, when you're someone that clearly understands that your environment, if you cater to your environment, it would only give you more and more. You come to the place of subduing it, which means you come to the place of authority. You come to the place of recognition. You come to the place where you come to a place of being in charge. All right. And that when you are in a place of authority, then you get to a place of dominance. When you cannot dominate if you have subdued, if you have not come to the place of authority. And I've just walked you through the steps to get to the place of authority. All right. Where and then you get to the place of dominance. All right. Now I always use the scripture as the, for me, as the common sense practice to say this is how you get to dominance. Now, as having a powerful name, also, if we have walked through the steps, basically from started all this up until now, you'd see that most of what I have already mentioned leads you to the place of dominance, because we have mentioned giving back a lot. We've mentioned most of these things, but I'm just kind of lining it up now in a format that I can actually see how you get to the place of dominance. Now, why is it possible? Why is it important to dominate? Because if you don't dominate, you dominated. If you don't dominate, you're dominated. If you I mean, there's just no way that place of authority that you don't dominate, that you're not. Look at the word dominate. It literally means being in charge. All right. Having a constituency, or having a sect that you are in charge of.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Having whether it's a region, whether it's an industry, having a space that you can control, that you have over, that your voice is heard, that you have not just an influence over, but you are able to have a certain level of what goes on, and people look up to you. That for me is the kind of dominance that I think that having a powerful name can really do. But it is not without you creating the possibility, and everything always starts from being intentional. Okay, I don't know if you have something to add to that.
Don't tempt me. So if after the meeting, you will see a message I sent you on WhatsApp when you're talking about
Okay.
this, because I decided to send you my book, because chapter 1 of my book basically talks about these things you're talking about.
Are
Of
you
that, I
serious?
have a commentary on Genesis that where I discuss all this. So I've just sent you the PDF. So if you tempt me to talk now, then we may take the next 2 hours me talking about it. So don't tempt me. I will just let it be.
No, I would read it. I'm telling you, because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the day I came to the understanding of this, I opened the scripture and I saw this, and I said, "Oh my God, this laid out format that is so easy if we can just follow it. You can't jump from multiply if you're not fruitful. You can't replenish. You can't replenish if you're not." Like, I was listening to Tom Sinek today, and he was talking about the fact that business is not money. And I really loved his mindset. And he said,
You mean Simon Sinek?
I'm sorry, Simon.
Okay.
And he was saying, I don't know why I was Tom Simon Sinek, but he was talking about the fact that a vehicle is not made for fuel. All right, that a vehicle is not made for fuel. But fuel is able to achieve what it needs to achieve, which is take you from one position to the other. And he also said that money is not the essence of business. All right, but it is the fuel that helps business to achieve what it is that the business has been set up for, which is impact, making a difference in the society, and bringing change, bringing transformation, etc. That's the focus first. And then, and absolutely, I totally agree with that. And that's why you cannot replenish without multiplying. You really can't. You can't, because there is no way for you to. And I also, because we're also in the I'm also in the sustainability space, and sometimes you have NGOs that are set up, and they're set up for obviously to help and all that. And I recently started to really look, listen, this person can't feed himself. This person wants to run an NGO. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to steal. Because the idea of replenishment is is the idea of giving back to the society, is that you have to. Now, this is not putting down NGOs, but of yours, that is where all the issues that you have when it comes to NGOs actually come from, because people set up a business in the name of I want, but you have nothing to give back, because you haven't even structured anything that is multiplying, which now you can use that to replenish. And that's why you have issues. But that's just a side, anyways. But anyways, dominance. There is a model to dominance, and dominance is very powerful. It's synonymous to a powerful name.
Hey, Mary. Hey, Mary.
Yes, can you hear me?
I just wish the audio will be, the video looks good, but the audio is, I'm just a little bit, I think to some extent I understand what you're saying, but I'm just wondering whether the people doing the transcription or
Whether the
the
audio.
transcribing, yeah, some of the words are kind of, it's like they disappear, and then yeah, the video seems stable, but the audio is kind of, I don't know what's.
I'm not sure. Um, do you want to maybe to start the StreamYard again? Because I noticed it started cracking.
So like now you said, this was what I heard you say, because I noted it started
Cracking, yeah.
no, it just like stopped there, the other words were swallowed, so that type of some of the words are kind of not coming out, and yeah, if they will be able to fill in the gaps, that's fine. Let's continue.
Right. I hope so. I, I hope so. But sometimes it like yesterdays when I listened back at it, and it was okay, even though
No, yesterday was one of the best.
No, yesterday
Yeah.
was really.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be on the road more often. We'll see if we can, if it still works. Now we can see.
Yeah, just continue. Let's do this. And I guess since you are there with them, if they miss certain things, they're gonna ask you what were you talking about. Yeah.
Let me just see if I can. This supposed to best.
What?
I think I need to stop this. Let's just try that and see if it works.
Stop what?
I think I need to put off the StreamYard and start it all over again.
All of a sudden, it sounds good now.
It's yeah, because I just refreshed the.
Yeah.
But it's bad again.
No, it's good now.
Huh?
It's good now.
Oh, okay, it's good. Down, all right. Okay, so I was asking if there was something you wanted to add to it, but of course, like you said, you. book on it, or maybe you could just
No,
keep it in.
I will just resist the temptation and just leave it there.
Again. Hello?
Hi, Mary.
Oof.
Can't can't see you, can't hear you.
Hello?
All right, I can see you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, it's still cracking a little bit, but let's just. I guess we have to do with what we have to do. Yeah, there's no other way.
There's no
Well,
way, because
there
I
are
tried.
other ways, but you will not be comfortable with the other ways. Is to go back and write everything you were saying.
It's more.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can take it off. I think it's the StreamYard that is in the internet from. I mean, I know it's the internet, but sometimes if I take it, if I'm trying to see if I can do this, take it off the StreamYard and come back. Now I don't know how to do that anymore. Okay, remove.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I just wanted to see if that helps.
Sounds good for me right now.
Now it's down. The crackliness.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'm saying that you should add something to this.
Well, yeah, I said earlier I didn't want to, go into that because yeah, so but yeah, I think I like the way you explain it, that for us to understand what dominion means, because you find those powerful words in Genesis chapter 1 verses 26 to 28,
Yeah.
where after creating the man and the woman, God said, now he blessed them first, and he said, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, dominate, and have dominion, and all those things. So,
Yeah.
which, just as you explained, one, you can't have, domination without being fruitful. You can't have domination without multiplication. You can't have dominion. So that is basically what it is. And yeah, so to dominate is not to be perceived necessarily as something that is negative, just like we have already said, we have already made the clarification that there is a difference between dominating and or
And
dominion and
oppression.
suppression, right? And dominion is a good thing, because of course God wants us to dominate, not to dominate other people. The essence is not for you to have a name and go about dominating other people.
Other people.
But if you are multiplying, if you are being fruitful, if you are multiplying, if you are intending that your powerful name will fill the earth, by virtue of those, you automatically dominate in that space. So It's just that it's unfortunate that people usually hate people that dominate. When people will say, "Well, Zuckerberg wants to dominate all this social media." I mean, if nobody is doing it, he should do it,
You
right?
should do it, right?
If nobody is dominating the online market space, Jeff Bezos should do it. If nobody is dominating the industry of producing cars, Elon Musk should do it. Somebody has got to do something to dominate, right? If
Absolutely.
nobody seems to be very serious with business in Africa, Dangote should do it. She should produce cement.
Exactly.
And sometimes people have heard this complaint that people will say, well, Dangote wants to dominate everything. He is into cement, he is into refinery, he is into salt, he's into spaghetti and all those things. Of course, he has a powerful name. He can dominate with it. If people don't want to do that, if you don't want other people to dominate, then also you also try to have a powerful name and multiply and be fruitful. By virtue of that, you create competition, and that is one thing I love about America, right? Capitalism is a good system because it creates competition, not necessarily in a negative way, but if I am doing something and you think I am not professional enough or I'm not good enough, also go and do it. So I usually teach my American friends that in America, if you go to the grocery store and you want to buy salt, and this is not a joke, this is real, you can see 50 different kinds of salt produced from different, just buying salt, which in Nigeria you just go enter the store and pick a salt. But here, just salt can confuse you. You can spend 30 minutes thinking about, should I buy from this or that? Or there is that competition, right? So anyway, but that's the kind of thing we are talking about. If you It's because of lack of competition, lack of being fruitful in a society where people are not fruitful, where people are not multiplying. That is when you find one person dominating or in a space. But if you find, if everyone is multiplying, everyone will grow and multiply, and everyone will have this powerful name. But unfortunately, that it's not even realized. It cannot be realized even in a society like America. So someone has got to dominate something, right? In every space, in every field, you will always have Microsoft, you will always have Amazon, you will always have Facebook, you will always have the leading things. And that is what we're trying, I guess, we're trying to help people understand that you can actually dominate. You can choose a niche and create a brand and actually dominate in that space if you are fruitful. And we always go back, I love the fact that we always go back to motive, right? If the motive is to make other people look irrelevant, then it's not a very good motive,
Then that's
right?
not, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if the motive is to say, hey, I've got to do this, I want to multiply, I want to scale, it's about scaling. I don't know whether you're going to talk about scaling later, but I want to scale. I want my business to scale, to multiply, to grow, to be fruitful. If you are doing that, you find yourself dominating.
Yeah. So the thing is, the intention, in fact, we talk about, we're almost talking about it really in hindsight. But most times when you start a business or you start anything, the main focus may not necessarily be, I want to dominate. But it's something, if you follow these steps, it will land you in being the dominating factor within the. It's not rocket science.
In fact, let's put it this way. Dominating is a consequence or the result of multiplication and being fruitful.
Yes, is the result of the steps. And the part that I like is, one of the things that I look at is the fact that it was not an option, it was a command. It's not even an option, it's a command. That means it's something that we need to do. It's something that we have to do.
All right. So you have repeated that. I've resisted, tried to resist that, but let me just say here that I understand our religious beliefs and backgrounds will always reflect in whatever we do. But since this is not a book, this is not a Christian book, so to speak, maybe we
Mhm.
should resist from saying it's a command, because you're gonna have audience, you're gonna have people that are gonna buy this book that don't believe in the Bible, right? So
Well, you
if
see,
you
the
say it's
truth
a
of the matter,
command, they may start saying command by who, or command by God.
well, yes,
I don't believe in God.
yes, that's fine. If you don't believe in God, it's fine. But you see, the truth of no, no, it's
you're
okay.
now you're now sounding like an
Yeah,
evangelist.
no, no, it's okay. If you don't believe in God, maybe now you read this book and you start to believe in God. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is, it's okay. It's okay if you don't believe in God, and it's okay if you don't believe in.
All right, everyone. If you are not a Christian, don't buy Mary's books.
No, no, no. If you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, please buy it. Even more when you're not a Christian. I love it. Even more a Christian, I want you to buy it. You know, people buy John Maxwell's books, and John Maxwell's books speak about God very clearly. It's not mixing words. John Maxwell speaks about God, and he uses the principles of God. There was a selling book by I forgot his name, but it's called God is a Man. That book
It's
became
called
known.
what?
God is a salesman. All
Hmm.
right, you should read that. Awesome. I'll check out the author. It's called God is a became a number one. It became a bestseller, best-selling book, and it's all on the principles from the Bible. Sales about how God, who we cannot see, is able to make us believe in Him. You see? Then what are you talking about? You don't see this man, but he tells you he's for me, and he's got the whole world following him without even being visible. Then
The house,
who is the biggest salesman on earth?
the house on the rock the house on the rock in you is coming up now.
But you see, when you want to, it's a command. When I look at something that is a command, I, for non-Christians, it's a principle. Because any command of God, that means that it's an earthly principle. It says, "Give unto you, press down, shake it together." Whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, do you
They are
understand?
universal. It's a
It's a
universal principle.
universal rule. There are some things that are not rules. There are some things that are specific to Christianity and Christians. There are some blessings that are only for Christians, and you can only get it when you key into Christianity, when you're born again, when you're this, when you're that. But there are some rules that has nothing to do with whether you're Christian. If you're hardworking, you will reap fruit. If you're lazy, you will reap fruit, whether you're Christian or not. You know,
Are you preaching to me?
the Bible talks about the rich man. The Bible talks about the rich man. Now, poor Lazarus went to heaven, but the went to hell was rich on earth. So the thing is, you can into you can key into principles of God are earthly that are on earth, and you succeed whether you believe in Him or not. But things have been set on earth, and I believe that the principle of this earth is available to everybody, and that's why it's not dominating people, but dominating the earth. That means that the plants can never wake up one day and dominate us. The fishes can never, the water can never. That is why we are able to discover uh, aerodynamics. That is why we're able to dominate the sky. That's why we're able to go to understand gravity and be able to, that's why man can do these things, because we have been given as a command principles that says that we have the power to do so. So the thing is, to that place where they understand that they have the power. It is in them. It's a command. It's a principle that the moment you have the that you can dominate, it's not for the next person and not for you. It is for everybody. And that power to dominate, you now need to ask yourself, how can I dominate? And that's why we've laid out this, and now of God, which is now the principles on earth. It says when you're fruitful, then you multiply, when you replenish, when you have authority, which is subdue, and then you will dominate. So if you take those simple steps, you are on the journey of dominating. And there's no way that you can dominate without having a powerful name. There is just no way. Because when you go on that journey, your name will become powerful. Your name will become your name will become a household name. If you didn't mean to, even if you didn't want to, everybody knows Jeff Bezos, whether you wanted it or not, because you know Amazon, and you're going to ask the question, who knows, So that dominance is powerful, right? Heading is very powerful. Heading to dominance is very powerful. Breaking it down further, like you talked about scaling. So if you want to put it in a business sense, right, you start one business, all right? You have to think of, or you write one book. You have to think of how can I multiply on this one thing that's to be done, all right? Then when you multiply on it, right, what are the things that I have to do to replenish where I'm yielding this profit from? You give back. You give back to your community. That's where sustainability comes. That's where CSR comes. You give back to your community. You give back to your community. You understand? Because in that way, you take authority. You become the influential part of that industry, community, whatever it is, and the effect of it is dominance. Then you become dominant within that sector. And as I always say, influence is in levels. You can basically be dominated. Are you there? Oh,
Yes, I'm here. I'm
okay.
here.
Okay. And don't think of dominance only in the millions of dominance, because before Facebook or Amazon became as massive as they are, they had different levels of dominance. They had different levels of subduing. Maybe, like we said, I think it was yesterday, said you start local and aim worldwide. So you first conquer your environment, and then you dominate. You can dominate in your hundreds, in your thousands, and your millions. All right. So that's the process of dominance. But you have to think about dominance in respect to what we talked about. I I hope I. Hello.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you
I thought
here?
I missed you. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. All
Did
right.
you want me to
Another
comment
way.
on?
Oh, yes, I wanted you to comment, but I lost you, so I stopped
Yeah,
talking.
you were. You see, my son just came back. He's Please go.
Oh, okay. In from school. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I am putting the camera off. He's trying to misbehave here a little bit.
He's not trying to miss you.
Yeah,
He just got in
yeah.
from
So just
school.
just continue. I mean,
It's easy.
just as I said, I mean, we are going to. This is something I have done work extensively on.
So
Uh,
you have it.
so, oh boy,
Nah, never mind. It's all perfect. We're good.
can you?
Okay. So I'll just continue. There's another part that doing right, and I'll also.
I can't see your camera. I can't see you, but it
Okay, you
doesn't
can see me.
matter. It doesn't matter anyway, I guess.
Yeah. I just wanted to read something. So there's something that says, it's not true. Genesis 4:7 says, "Is it not true that if you do what's right, you will be fine? But if you do not do what is right, sin crouching at the door. It desires to dominate you, but you must subdue it." Now, the key point here is in everything that we do, we must do what is right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, there's a very truck.
Are you?
It was like a World War III vehicle just passed me. And it's just a truck, but it's so now loud and noisy. Anyways,
Are you not a Lagosian, so you should be used to that.
and now we've grown past those kind of vehicles. He, he needs to be arrested for having such a noisy vehicle. But okay, so but I was just pointing to a scripture now, which basically speaks to doing right. Okay,
Mm.
that when you do right, when you do right, you would always reap the benefit for it. So when you do what is right, you would benefit. So there's two parts of right. Number one, um, being intentional about heading to the place of dominance is doing right. Now,
Mm-hmm.
whilst you're on that journey, doing the right things in terms of, like you talked about, motives and all that is very, very important. Ensuring that you come to the place of dominance because you do right by people. You do right, you do the right thing, and then you're able to get to that place. Now a lot of people, because I want to underscore on that part, a lot of people score on the fact that, oh, you don't know what these businessmen do to get to where they are. It's quite naive to think that you're all going to be a saint throughout the journey, and all that. And that's only because there are too many people who don't do right that are succeeding. Understand? So it doesn't give room for people to have the example of people that do right and still get there. And I'm hoping that, you know, the the next generation of business people are focused on doing right, are focused on doing right, and then the names that you would hear and the names that will uh, uh, that we will. I mean, I was just going through Instagram today, and I was quite appalled. I mean, I'm sorry, I was just like, oh my god! I saw the kind of videos that people were liking, and half naked women and all. I was like, okay, now if this is what is encouraged, this is what people are encouraging more. Like, while you have a co-chair or you have someone who's doing right and the person is getting less, then there's that imbalance already telling you, oh no, you have to go this way to succeed. But I know that the principles of life, the principles that have been set, which we're talking about here, heading you to dominance, if you stick with it and you do right, you will subdue. you will dominate at the end of the day. And I would just like to end with what David said. He said, "When I saw the prosperity of the wicked, my feet almost slipped. But when I saw their end, and their end not just being heaven or afterlife, when I saw their end, even on earth, how they came to ruins eventually, how things didn't go right eventually, how they reaped the fruit of evil eventually. All right, it might take a really long time, but eventually, when I saw their end, I understood that I better stay on my lane, which will lead me, will always keep me, will always protect me, and always get me to the right place."
Powerful.
Yeah.
So do you still have other points?
I think that's it for today.
Yeah, sorry, it was the past 5 minutes have been a little bit chaotic for me since my
I
kids
know.
came. Yeah. Yeah, so we are going to dance with that. We are going to use that, and since I've done extensive research on that already, as you will see,
Which is
try to read
fantastic.
the first chapter of my commentary that I sent to you. Maybe we
Okay,
can go
you sent
off.
it to me already.
Yes, we can go offline, I think, and
Okay, okay,
talk
okay.
a little bit.
All right.